Each week, I get a veg box. It's really useful because I get organic veg. Here we go. Here's a sample of some of them. Look at that lovely cauliflower in there. Beautiful. Some leeks here. Look at that. Straight out the earth. Wonderful. And some bunched carrots. And these things... these things are very good for you, as well as meat and various milks and cheeses and things. You can get all sorts of wonderful things without having to resort to going to a supermarket where you get all that highly processed rubbish. But the thing about this particular place, and I always get this little leaflet that comes with it, just to sort of bring me up to date with the way that the company that does these veg boxes are sort of thinking about things, is the thing about this particular company, I won't mention its name, you can probably work it out, is unfortunately they've sold into the global warming myth. They believe that there is this terrible thing happening, that we, the people of this land, are polluting somehow with our vehicles and our industry and all this sort of nonsense, too much CO2 into the atmosphere, and they're trying to reduce their CO2. They believe in the net green agenda and all this, the zero nonsense. And then they talk about, because these are delivered in veg boxes, as you can imagine, to the door, they're talking about now replacing their fleet of vans, which were normal, lovely diesel vans, sort of transit vans, that sort of thing. But now they're thinking, no, we've got to get down to EVs. We've got to have these electrical vehicles. Oh, my God, which, of course, we know means that kids are having to go down into mines under terrible conditions to get the necessary components for the batteries for it. We know that these EVs, for example, blow up and catch fire and cause problem, and the gases that are emitted from that are dangerous. And it is a nonsense. People are still believing that net zero, that the global warming, that man-made anthropomorphic global warming is a thing, and that CO2, the gas of life. I mean, it's weird that farmers go down this road, isn't it? I mean, these people grow all this stuff. These people who deliver this, they grow this stuff, or they have partners who grow it for them organically. And they do everything. Everything that they do is right and good and wholesome and proper, apart from this weird notion that CO2, which is the gas that grows this stuff. I mean, that's what I don't understand with farmers. Farmers must surely know that these plants that they grow need CO2. We don't need to reduce the CO2. We need more of it, in fact, so that we get bountiful crops, so that we can feed the whole world, that we don't have to sort of get into this weird notion of having to eat bugs and synthetic burgers and get rid of cows and things like that, all that sort of nonsense that the meat is bad for you. No, we need more of this CO2. Now, it struck me that if you've got veg box scheme, a sort of nationwide scheme or even a local scheme, and you were open and honest and aware of the scam of global warming and all of that, you could reach normal people who have not yet realised what's going on and how they're being duped by this nonsense, by this fake science that we are the problem. You could reach them by putting in nice leaflets which would tell people about the nonsense of global warming, how actually you're pushing back against the man-made global warming narrative and pulling into it the holes. You could be telling them where the council, for example, are going wrong with some of their notions about reducing things and putting in more of these electric power points up and down the land in the streets and trying to get rid of cars. If only some of these veg box schemes were able to think clearly and honestly, they could help us, the human race, to contact other members of this human race to actually instruct people or tell people or give them the truth that all of this is a lie. We need to find other systems in which those people who are awakened to the nonsense can actually help by telling others what it is without sounding as if you're some conspiratorial nut. And a veg box scheme, I think, is just that, because if you are dealing with farmers and farmers understand that CO2, the gas of life, is essential for the plants, then they're the sort of they are basically an authority who would say, actually no, we need more of it. And the plants themselves absorb that, they grow it, they help to get better plants. We can all eat nice and healthily. And you see, we should be thriving right now. Here we are in the 21st century. We should be thriving as a species on this planet. We've got so much good information. But those people, the dark forces, the perpetrators, the Luciferians, the Satanists, the billionaires who think they know, the people who want to tell you and I how to live our lives, how we should be corralled into 15-minute cities, how we're not supposed to have our own free will, how we're not sovereign people, how we've got to be these legal fictions, capitalization of names on bits of paper, and how we've got to be bled dry left, right and centre. Those people who want to tell us all of that. People still in the dark about all of the truth, and we still seem to be a little bit like loonies. However, I was talking, had a message rather from good old Mark Byford, who I'm going to see very soon, and a bunch of other farmers. And he was giving a presentation to farmers, and he covered a whole load of stuff about this green agenda, about the government's idea to keep farmers down and to get rid of farmers, to stop growing food, to growing things like flowers and trees, or that green energy that they often talk about. You know, the one where they're relying on the wind on the days that the wind isn't blowing, or the sun. When have we seen the sun? I mean, the absurdity is we have fields and fields and fields of solar panels all over the place, and at the same time they're saying, no, we're dimming the skies. It's on the government's website. Go and have a look for it. It's actually there. They're telling you what they're doing. We're dimming the skies. Well, if the government are dimming the skies so the sun can't get in, what's the point of having swathes of the countryside covered in solar panels which rely on sunlight to generate electricity when they're dimming the sodding sky? I mean, it's like one half of the monster doesn't know what the other half of the monster is doing, or does it? And are we just ignorant to it and going, oh yeah, no, it's they know what they're doing. Yes, oh yes, it's all us, isn't it? Because we're eating the terrible meat and cows fart and raw milk is bad, and we've believed the whole narrative that mainstream agenda is telling us. Get off the television. Get rid of it, dump it, shove it in a bin somewhere. You don't need these idiots to tell you how to run your lives, how to think, how to program you. You don't need them. You don't need them. You need your own common sense, your own critical thinking, because you've got the ability. You can do it. You don't need somebody else. Take back the responsibility. Get yourself some good quality, healthy food. But talk to them and say, hey, do you really think that the green agenda is such a good thing? You need more CO2, not less. It could be a brilliant opportunity for the veg box schemes to get the message out to those people who have yet to understand the great harms that have been done to them through the constant messaging that they could do in that way. And it would be a healthy way to keep everybody going in the future coming up. We need that sort of thing. We need it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll be interested. And if you have a veg box scheme, where do you get it from? And is it good? Do you find the vegetables good? And are they on board with the right way of thinking? Or are they still thinking, oh my goodness, we're burning too much CO2? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.